Good morning, happy Monday. It is about 7 o'clock. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that my trash can is still at my house when I get home, because the Santa Ana winds are blowing here and you just never know with your trash can. But basically this video is going to be slightly different. I'm going to be doing a day in the life of a teacher. A, because it seems like people really seem to enjoy seeing just one full day in a person's life. And B, because I won't be vlogging for the rest of the week because I will be at a teaching conference. Sorry, I was making sure I was recording. I will be at a teaching conference Wednesday through Sunday, and this is my first time attending this conference. It's the CATA conference, which is for teachers and administrators that work with leadership students. So this is my first time at the conference, so I don't think that I will be overly concerned with vlogging because I'll be trying to absorb as much information as possible. So with that being said, I thought this is the perfect opportunity for me to try a day in the life video myself. So it is Monday morning, March the 3rd. I believe I said it's about 7. And so normally I do not work out on Mondays because I need a little bit of extra time in the morning because I wasn't there the day before, obviously, to get the class set up, and I don't like to feel flustered and panicked when I come in. So I will not work out on Mondays. However, I don't know where the back of that earring went to. However, today, I just know when I move, it's gonna like tumble out somewhere. However, today I did try to wake up this morning and work out because I won't be able to work out the rest of the week. So I actually woke up at 4:15 to check to see if I got into the class. I didn't. I was waitlisted, and so I laid in bed for another 45 minutes and got up at just a little bit after 5. It took me a minute to get out of the bed. So typically when I wake up on mornings like this, my first thing I'm going to do is to go downstairs, take Riley and Genesis out to use the bathroom, come back in. The wind is really blowing. Come back in and get them fed, give Genesis her medication. She has, like, I don't know if it's allergies or what it is. She just has a very serious nasal issue. Give her medication, and then I'll go upstairs and start getting ready and dressed for the day. And I know I took some footage of that. I'm just not sure how it all turn out. And my goal, and then when I finish that, sorry, I'll come downstairs, pick up my stuff, make my coffee, and get ready to go. So my goal on those days is to be at school somewhere between 6:45 and 7. So I'm right on target with that. So today is actually, it's probably going to be a long day because I have a meeting at 6 o'clock. And I really need to just be focused on getting the stuff that I need to get done. I need to make 3 days worth of sub plans to account for the days that I won't be here, and just make sure I have everything in place that I need. So I'm gonna do my best to capture like as much of the day as possible. Might be a lot of just B-roll of me working just so that I can stay focused. But let's get this day started. Okay, so it's just before 7:55. It's about 7:52 to be precise, according to my computer. And so what I did is I first had to switch out the calendar because it's March. I also needed to switch out my books for the month of March. And then I had to make sure at least my homeroom slide was ready for the kids when they come in. And by the slide, I just mean I project this up. So for the slides here, I just put this up every morning. This just kind of tells them what they need to have out. I have this for every subject area, so every morning they need the same things out: student planners, pencil, prefixes, and suffixes packet, which I will give them. We watch morning announcements that are created by 7th graders on campus. The question of the day is what I use to take attendance every morning. Today it's Do you like to go swimming? I've done that since elementary school. Still works really well with middle schoolers. And then that's just like the list of things that they need to be taken care of as we're getting the day started. And it pretty much stays the same. I also put my agenda up on the board for the day. My first period is leadership. I never put that on the board because I just don't for some reason. Third period is normally when we have universal access, where every student in the 8th grade is intermixed and they're just being leveled in different classes. So you don't necessarily have your students during that period, but we don't have universal access on Mondays. So I use that period for Starbucks mode, which is where they get to work on things they need to catch up on, get a head start on some things. So I have that today, but with my switch class. Social studies, we're going to watch the week in wrap, go over the article of the week. We're going to start taking notes on lesson 4.3 in social studies, and I need to put the page numbers because we won't go through the whole lesson, just a portion of it. Then in language arts, we're going to talk about what argumentative writing is. We're going to look at a student sample from Study Sync, and then we're going to review the writing prompt that I chose to make because I didn't like the one on Study Sync. And then of course I write down the homework they need to have written down plus some reminders. So that is typically what I do when I come to school in the morning. If I'm not early, like Mondays are early, that usually is up on the board the day before, and that's the bell, so school is going to start. So I did that. I got copies made in the teacher's lounge with the student sample that we're going to be using from Study Sync to talk about argumentative writing and see if we can identify the different elements that they're going to learn about. And that is pretty much it. I'm ready for the day. I gotta go get the kids, so I will check in with you as soon as I can. All right, so it is now officially second period. Second period is my prep period. First period is my leadership class, and what we're working on in that class is we have a Renaissance rally that's coming up on March the 19th. And a Renaissance rally is just a rally that we put on for students who I think earned a 3.0 and above. And so we're in the process of planning that. The theme is going to be outer space. So there's kids working on the decorations that we'll have. There's kids that put together like the skits that we need, the little games that they'll play. And we also decided this morning that we wanted to have a spirit week leading into spring break. So we brainstormed that. We're gonna have that Monday is tie-dye day. Tuesday is St. Patrick's Day, so it's green out day. Wednesday is spring training day, so baseball themed shirts. And Thursday is glow in the dark day because that's the day of the rally. We normally have rallies on Fridays, but Friday is going to be a minimum day because we will be going into spring break, and we always have a minimum day before we go on a vacation. So Thursday is the day of the rally, and then that Friday of that week is just going to be a regular spirit day where they wear spirit colors. So that was first period. Second period is my prep period. It goes from 9 to 9:50. And normally what I will do is if I have any last minute copies that I need to make for the day or anything I need to take care of to make sure I'm prepped and set up for the rest of the day, I will do that. I hate to have to do that because that means I'm not properly planned ahead. I will have my breakfast, which is a breakfast burrito. I will enjoy my coffee if there's any left. And whatever time is left after that is time that I will use to take care of whatever I need to take care of. So it's about 9:36. I have about 20-ish, 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to be working on my sub plans, and I am sitting in this very little awkward corner at my countertop because during my prep, our tech person is in the process of replacing everyone's computer. We have very old and slow computers, and it's a 2-day process per teacher, and she comes in during your prep so as not to disturb your teaching. So she is in and out of my room right now using my computer, and I don't want to be in her way. So that's good news. But I'm gonna take the rest of this time to work on my sub plans, and I will check in with you guys later on. Just that piece I wouldn't highlight, but if you highlight more than that, that definitely is a piece of text evidence. You said one line from a play of the time. What had a child in a Warsaw ghetto orphanage crying, "I cannot sing, I'm so hungry." That right there, if you just stop there, is not text evidence. But read the following part.
The characters were like we all were. That is why we must sing.
Okay. Do you guys recognize that to be something that you annotated?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that little line saying? How does that relate to having a positive attitude? That scenario that they're giving you of this child in a play that's saying, I'm so hungry I can't sing, and then someone says, we're all hungry, you must sing. How does that relate to the thesis that a positive attitude is the best way to deal with conflict? Okay, it is now 2:30, I'm gonna say 2:37. School just got out 7 minutes ago. I get out at 2:30. We have a staff meeting. I'm not 100% sure what time it is, but it's probably around 2:45. So I'm just going to get myself ready for that. But I got a little bit of footage of me teaching. I don't know if I'll be able to use it because I'm not even sure if the camera was in the right place. But in terms of teaching today, honestly, both my classes were chatty. My homeroom class was chattier than normal, and I don't know if it was because I saw them in the afternoon as opposed to the morning, or what it was. But they were chattier than normal. We got through most of everything. The only thing I didn't get through in language arts was I wanted to go over this deadline page that I need to give them, so they have the deadlines of when like their brainstorming is due, their outline, their rough draft. We didn't get to that, which is fine because they have quite a bit of time before that stuff comes up. And that's pretty much it. The frustrating part of today is, like, as a teacher, it's just so frustrating where you give very clear and explicit directions, like, if you don't have this highlighted, make sure you get it highlighted. And you look around and you just have like a few students that are just really not doing what they're supposed to be doing. But it's usually those same students when grades are coming out that are now suddenly in a panic about, well, what can I do to raise my grade? And I want to say, I don't understand why you don't understand your grade is based on you getting or not getting things done. So that was frustrating today. So I'm gonna go to the staff meeting. We did get an agenda. I have not had a chance to look at it, and I honestly thought today was a minimum day because we normally don't have staff meetings unless it's a minimum day. So I'm just looking at this email right now. Staff meeting is going to start, it looks like at 2:45 promptly, so like in 5 minutes. And I have a bunch of other emails that I need to go through, but nothing looks super urgent. So I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to update my website with homework, see if I can send this remind out, try and brush my hair really quick so that I don't look crazy walking into the staff meeting, and then head on over. So we'll see if I get all that done. Okay, it is now 4:30. The staff meeting ended probably about 15 minutes or so ago, and then I just went next door to talk to my partner, Jenna, just to kind of rehash the day. I don't want to say student issues, but just kind of like talk about what we've seen or noticed with some of our students. I am now at the process of the day where I am just trying to organize piles. So right now, I'm gonna step back just in case there's student names on it. These are all the piles of papers that I collected today. One pile is homeroom, one pile is switch. There's some piles there of stuff that we didn't get to today. So I like to try and just do a quick run through of my classroom and just pick up piles because I never ever leave my classroom with just piles left out, because that gives me a lot of anxiety when I return the next day. So that's what I'm doing right now. I have a meeting at 6 o'clock, so in about an hour and a half. It's here, so that's good news. I was hoping to like go home before the meeting and maybe let my dogs out and feed them so that they don't have to be behind the gate the whole time. But I don't think that that is going to happen. I think what I'm gonna do is continue to stay here and work on my sub plans. So I got a little bit done today, not a whole lot. Definitely, let me put you somewhere where the sun's not in my face. Definitely not as much as I want it to. So that's kind of disappointing. But it is what it is. So I have to just accept it and move on. So I have some late work in this basket that I need to take out. So that's what's up. 4:30, just finished my staff meeting. I need to go check my emails. So my order of operation right now is check my emails, get my slides set up for tomorrow, so that's done because I'm supposed to work out tomorrow. And then with whatever time I have left, continue to work on my sub plans so they are mostly done. Luckily, when I go home after this meeting, I don't have to cook, and I'm hoping that the meeting doesn't take very long because I don't want to be up too late because I have to be up at 4:15 tomorrow to work out. So off to get ready for tomorrow. Wish me luck once again. I hope that the next time I check in with you, I feel like I've actually made some significant progress in getting my sub plans together. The good news is I do make my sub plans on planbook.com, and there are certain chunks of the day where the plans never really change, like when they first come in and explaining the whole attendance procedure. My leadership class is pretty much doing very similar activities as to when I was out the last time. So I am able to just go back to days that I was out and then cut and paste the information there, and that is a time saver. So there's that, but I gotta get to work now. All right, it is now 5:51, still in my classroom. My meeting's in 9 minutes. I'm feeling pretty good and honestly, I'm pretty impressed with myself. My 3 days worth of sub plans are pretty much done. I still have to read through them and make sure they like grammatically make sense and someone can read through these and follow it. But I will say once again that I feel like having plan book is like just a time saver. So I have the 3 days mapped out. I think they're all pretty straightforward lesson plans. A lot of what they're going to be doing is digital and on Google Classroom. And so the one thing I do need to do is look at Friday for language arts because there's something that I want them to do. We're getting ready for an essay and study sync, and on Friday, I want them to practice writing an effective hook. And so there's all these different terms in this resource that I'm going to have them fill in that they may not be familiar with, so I need to reach out to my RSP teacher that pushes in for language arts to see if she can maybe take the lead during that after talking to me a little bit about what it is I'm looking for and what it is that I would like for them to do. So that's good news. I think after this meeting, I will probably come back in here. I might put my agenda up for tomorrow. I might not. I already have my slides made for tomorrow, so that's half the battle. And then when I go home, I will probably, if I still have some energy, try and proofread these things then and see if there's any resources that I can find that explain what writing an effective hook looks like and what it should sound like in case the RSP teacher is not available, because sometimes that happens. So before I go to the meeting, I wanted to let you know or show you a couple of things. I can't show you the student work for this because the students took it home with them. So today, to prepare for this writing assessment and study sync, we went over a student sample. So we're in Unit 2, 8th grade. The lesson or the unit theme is in times of war or something along those lines. And the prompt that they're initially supposed to respond to based on what StudySync had for them says, basically is asking them, what is the best way to resolve conflict? Like, and when they talk about conflict, they're talking about like extreme conflict, like war, things like that. So when I was talking to the other teacher that has taught 8th grade for more years than I have, she said that they don't normally use that prompt because once the kids see the StudySync example, it just kind of like veers them off track or they end up just plagiarizing it. And it's kind of just very broad. Like I can just imagine my students being like, what do you mean? I can't really do it, or I don't know how to answer this question. So I changed the prompt and I picked one that was a little bit more like focused and based just really on Boy in the Striped Pajamas to kind of help them out. And if I can find it, because I've put it in a Google slide, I have no idea what footage was recorded. So we're gonna hope that this all makes sense. So I was trying to turn the camera around to show you this prompt. So it says, think about the character of Bruno's mother in the novel The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Based on what we have read and learned about Nazi Germany, do you think Bruno's mother is just as responsible as her husband, for Bruno's death? I got nervous that it said something else. And I think since then I've even changed it a little bit that just basically says, do you think Bruno's mother is responsible in any way for Bruno's death? Because I don't really want them to just be focused on the mother versus the father, because that's not really the point of the prompt. So that is the prompt that I gave them. And so thanks to my teammates, one in particular that is the grade level chair that has been teaching 8th grade longer than I have, she had a Teachers Pay Teachers product that she showed me that has all these Google slides that you can edit and use. So one of them is the dates to remember page I'm going to give them, but another one, or on this page I should say, there's this little brainstorming section where they're supposed to brainstorm in this section. I just typed in some information here. Now, I don't want to just have them just freely brainstorm in there, because that for some kids means they're not really gonna do anything, because they either don't really know what to do, or there's not enough accountability by just saying brainstorm. So I gave them 6 questions that should generate what you would ultimately want when a student is sent to brainstorm with a prompt like this. So I gave them 6 questions and said, you will complete your brainstorming on a separate Google form. Answer the following questions to help guide your brainstorming process. And then in parentheses, I put, this is just to help get your thoughts flowing. So question 1 I asked them is, what was life like for Germans during Nazi Germany? Question 2, based on the events of Boy in the Striped Pajamas, did Bruno's mother seem to approve of what was happening at Outwith? 3, do you think she would have agreed to move her family if she had a full understanding of what was going on at the concentration camps? 4, how would you describe Bruno's mother? 5, how would you describe the relationship between Bruno's mother and father? That's the cleaning lady. Sorry. And 6, in the novel, was there any evidence that the mother had concerns with what was going on at Outwith? So those are the questions I gave them. And what I have done, and I gotta hurry up, the meeting's here, so that's good news. What I have done is I've created a Google form where they can answer this question. So let's see, where did I put that? Here we go. And it's just the same questions, but just in Google format, or Google form format. So I just made this. This has all of the questions I just read. And in the subnote, I tell them that this is on Google Classroom. And just to make sure time is used and filled, I did say that they needed to respond to those questions in race format. Also to ensure that they don't just give one-word answers. And they need to have some sourcing or text evidence to support what they're saying, which ultimately they're going to be irritated that they had to do that, but ultimately it will help them when it comes to actually writing. So that's one of the things I'm going to have them do. As far as the one-pagers, I don't know if I mentioned this. I know I mentioned in the last week's vlog, but this is my first go with giving them one-pagers. Some of them are great. Some of them need some work. So I'm gonna show you this one. I haven't really looked all the way through this one yet. I'm just covering up her name, but this looks nice. Like visually, it's at least appealing. There were some kids that definitely turned in some incomplete work, like this one. Let me see here. Make sure their name is not on it. This one looks good. So I will be looking through these. I don't know that I'll be grading them tonight. Actually, I know I won't be grading them tonight, but I will probably have time to look over these while I'm away at the conference, because I'll have, I think, some downtime for a few days. So let me head over to the staff meeting, 6 o'clock. I'll check in with you when I'm done. So it is now about not 7:15. I got home at 7:15. The meeting ended around 7, and then I came home. So now it's about 7:45. I just packed my lunch downstairs. Okay, I just got home about 15 to 20 minutes ago. I came in, let the dogs out. Now I just finished packing my lunch. In my lunch bag is the breakfast burrito that I eat during my prep. My lunch down there is a sweet kale salad that I bought from Target. Normally I meal prep, but since I knew I was going to be gone most of the week, I didn't want to meal prep and I didn't want to waste the groceries. So I just bought a big bag of this sweet kale salad that comes from Target. I had this for lunch today. I'll have it tomorrow. And then as you can see, there's still a serving's worth left. So that's the main item for tomorrow is going to be the salad. I always have for lunch down in here some sliced apples to go with whatever I end up having. There's a little thing of peanut butter down in here that I have with the apples. My after school snack is some Boom Chica Pop. And down in here is, nope, well this was given to me by my teammate. I have not tried it yet, but she says they're really good. But somewhere, here it is. The other snack that I have after school is a protein bar. Most of the time I don't end up eating this, but I always pack it anyway. I just need to put my water bottle in there. And then that's it. So I got home, packed my lunch right away, came upstairs to pick out my outfit for tomorrow so that I don't have to worry about that, because I do go to Orange Theory on Tuesdays. I will be going for sure because I'm already confirmed to be in the class. Luckily for tomorrow's outfit, I was able to like take the easy route and wear a pair of pants that didn't need to be ironed because they had already been ironed. And I quickly thought to myself, let me find a top that doesn't need to be ironed. And I always check the weather. So it's supposed to be, I can't remember. I think it's supposed to be like 76 degrees tomorrow. 76 degrees tomorrow and then windy again. So this is what I chose. I am going to wear this top from Ann Taylor Loft. I got this, I think I got this during last winter break. And these black pants are from Ann Taylor Loft. Neither one of these had to be ironed tonight. I think I'm gonna wear my black Rothy's. If not these, it's gonna be another pair, excuse me, of flats. I pulled out my accessories, which are right here. I'm just gonna wear these rings that are from Ann Taylor Loft. My black framed glasses, which are like my OG glasses. I've had these for the longest. My lanyard is out. And the only thing I forgot to do is I forgot to switch the band on my Apple Watch because I'm still wearing it right now, but I'm gonna wear a black band. I've also pulled out my gym clothes. So these are the pants, my sports bras in there somewhere at the top. I will even pull out the socks right there and put them in the shoe, because in the morning at 4:15 it's early, I don't feel like finding anything, and I really need to get there right on time to get the treadmill that I want. And I also packed this bag. So inside the bag is, there it is, the towel that I need, my visor that I always wear. So like there's the towel, the little purple thing right there is the visor, and my heart rate monitor is in there somewhere. So what I'm getting ready to do right now is I'm getting ready to take a shower, wash my face, go downstairs and eat dinner. If I have the energy, I will check my sub plans and just read through them and make sure that they all make sense. If I don't have the energy, then I won't, but I feel like I will, because tomorrow I really just want to be at a place where my lesson plans are pretty much finalized. I can leave at a reasonable hour because I'll have to come home tomorrow and pack. And I kind of want to have time to edit this video so that I can schedule it to upload on Sunday, because I'll still be out of town on Sunday. So my mom will be here with the dogs, taking care of them, taking care of my house, so that's all taken care of. So I'm getting ready to I'm going to get ready to hop into the shower. I probably won't pick up the camera, or let's say this, you probably won't see my face from this point forward, because I'm going to take a shower, wash my face, and just break it all down. But I might take some just footage of what I do to wrap up the night, but I think it's really just going to be me eating dinner and like scrolling through my sub plans. And then my goal is always to be in bed by 9:30 on nights that I work out. The next morning I should be in bed by 9:15 to get a full 7 hours, but 9:30 is hard for me, and 9:15 is even harder. And my life's goal really is to read before I go to bed, and that's something that I'm still working on. So since this is probably the last time you guys will see me, I hope you enjoyed just this day in the life. I was going to title this a typical day in the life, but I don't want to, because this day was not necessarily typical. I had a staff meeting, then another meeting after that. I had to make 3 days worth of sub plans, but in some ways it is typical. I think I'm glad I ended up capturing this day for people that don't really have an understanding or an appreciation in some cases of just how long a teacher's day can be. So I was physically at my school for 12 hours from 7 to 7, and then I came home and took care of stuff at home, and I still have some things that I really should do, but we'll see. So if you enjoyed just seeing one day in my life as a teacher, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you subscribe. And even more so, if you're not following me on Instagram, please make sure you follow me over there to catch my outfits of the day, just to see random fun things that I choose to share that are, some are teaching related, some are not. Or if you just want to support me in my goal to get to 10,000 followers, that would be appreciated. So I will see you guys next week. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will talk to you then. Bye.